So here are three trades that could put the Yankees back in the World Series in 2025. Okay. Happy Sunday, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. I want to thank Ryan Garcia from Fireside Yankees for coming on with me last night. We had a great discussion. We talked about Roki Saki. We talked about building the team around Juan Soto and building the team without Juan Soto. That was fantastic, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it, go take a look at it. I think you'll find it highly enjoyable. You're always welcome, Ryan. And I want to talk about this because this really opened up or expanded the thought. I mean, the thinking cap for me. And one of the things that we talked about was Roki Sasaki. And now that he's going to be posted early, we don't know if Munetaka Murakami is going to get posted early yet, which we'll find out. So just make sure that you're subscribed to this channel just so that you'll know when it happens, and make sure all your notifications are turned on. You'll never miss anything if you do that. I thank you so much for it. So, but I don't see the Yankees signing anybody in free agency that's attached to a qualifying offer until the Roki Sasaki situation is finalized, the Munetaka Murakami situation is finalized. Notice a lot of people think he's automatically going to go to the Dodgers. I get it. But until that's actually official, the Yankees have just as much of a chance as anybody else does because he's coming on the cheap on an international free agency. Everybody has an equal shot at him right now. Okay? Period. So I want to talk about three trades that could help put the Yankees back in the World Series and even get them to the point where they can win the World Series. Okay? Trade one is between the Cardinals and the Yankees. Okay? In this particular trade, we would send Will Warren, pitching prospect, number 5 prospect for the Yankees, and Clark Schmidt. This one's a little painful for me because I like Clark Schmidt. But you'd send them to the St. Louis Cardinals for Brendan Donovan, okay, who's a player I've liked for a long time, and he could fulfill an infield spot at a fantastic contact rate. The guy's a hard-nosed player, would be perfect for the Yankees, okay? And he's a line drive contact hitter, and he's just an outstanding player. And he's got 3 years of control. And Ryan Helsley, their closer. He's got 1 more year left of control. So we'd be sending a pitcher who's got 3 years of control left as well. And St. Louis Cardinals, it almost feels like the St. Louis Cardinals are about to tear things down. It almost feels like they're about to tear it down and want to get a little bit cheaper. So this just offers them the opportunity to do that on 2 fronts, adding 2 pitchers here. And they could develop Will Warren instead of having to throw them to the Wolves like he was thrown to the Wolves here in the Bronx this year, which didn't really work. So this gives them some pitching, gives the Yankees a bat that they need for the infield and a relief pitcher, okay, who they need to boost the infield. I mean, they need to boost the infield and a relief pitcher. And Juan Soto, as much as I love him, he addresses neither one of those situations. Okay, these give the Yankees an opportunity to make trades without having to really steamroll the payroll while still addressing needs. Because like I said last night too, I'd rather have that discussion with Juan Soto and say, by the way, we did this move and this move and this move. You're going to come back to a better team in 2025. That's a great selling point for me. We want you, because him and Cole coming back great is not enough. We still have to address multiple holes. And if you can tell Juan Soto, Scott Borstat, it's going to increase your marketability. It's going to increase your chances of bringing him back. And like I said too last night, the Yankees do have an edge. Had he not come to the Yankees for that year, the Mets would have had a bigger advantage in signing him for agency. But he has played with the Yankees for a year. He loved it. They loved him. Now he knows what it feels like. That edge for the Mets is not as big as you think it is. Okay, Steve Cohen might have money, but so do the Steinbrenners. And they're just as cutthroat as anybody else, just like Brian Cashman is. So just something to keep in mind. But that trade right there, I think, is a very doable trade. And I think Brendan Donovan's gettable. Even if it's a 1-for-1, I'm willing to do that. But I think I can do a 2-for-2 there. The second trade has us working with the Milwaukee Brewers. We'd be sending number 7 prospect Brock Selvage and Yorbit Vivas, dirt versatile infield. And the reason I'm adding Yorbit Vivas to this is because I think he's blocked by Caleb Durbin. I think he's blocked by most likely Oswald Peraza, who a lot of folks think he should get a shot, and I don't disagree. So, but Caleb Durbin is a guy that's going to be given every opportunity to win the second base job. And if that's the case, Jazz Chisholm will be a third base. And the reason why I'm adding Yorbit Vivas here as well is because Willie Adames is very likely not coming back to the Brewers. So adding an infielder to this trade for Devin Williams, their closer, can make it a more attractive trade package. So we'd be sending them a starting pitcher and an infielder there for Devin Williams. He only has 1 year left before he's a free agent. Could you imagine doing both of those trades and adding Devin Williams and Ryan Helsley to this bullpen? The bullpen will look completely different. It will feel completely different. Okay, and the last trade I want to go over is with the Angels. You'll be sending Nestor Cortez, Jose Trevino, and Everson Pereira over to the Angels for Logan O'Hoppe and Taylor Ward. Now, Ken Rosenthal proposed a trade where you'd send Nestor Cortez alone over to the Angels for Logan O'Hoppe. And then he also proposed bringing Logan behind the plate and then moving Austin Wells to first base. Well, I don't know. I mean, Austin Wells is significantly improved, and he's shown his ability to get guys out from behind the plate and handle pitching staff. So I would not be opposed to moving O'Hoppe to first base. And then you don't have to go after a first baseman for agency, because keep in mind, going back to the original point that I made, they're not going to really sign guys that are attached to qualifying offers. And two of the guys, Christian Walker and Pete Alonso, have QOs attached to them in first base, which means the trade route is the more likely destination for the Yankees here. And you could get Logan O'Hoppe and put him to first base if you don't want to make a trade with the Royals, if you don't want to wait for Christian Walker, you don't want to do that, and so on and so forth. And O'Hoppe's got some pretty good contact skills, and Taylor Ward has some pretty great contact skills as well. And think if Juan Soto doesn't come back, this becomes a more likely scenario, this trade. Because if Juan Soto doesn't return, then Aaron Judge can go to right field, Jason Dominguez can go to center field, and Taylor Ward can go to left field. Ward's got 2 years of control. O'Hoppe's got 3. Okay? Pereira's the Yankees' 3 prospect. He's coming off Tommy John, but it would give him an outfield to replace Taylor Ward on the cheap. Okay? Jose Trevino gives him a backup catcher, a veteran backup catcher to replace O'Hoppe and then add to whatever they have there. And Nestor Cortez gives him another arm in the starting rotation. It almost feels like a trade has to happen with the Angels. And this trade makes sense too. And I don't, I think it would be crazy if the Yankees made all 3 of these trades. But any one of these would help the team. Any 2 of these would really help the team. 3 of these, I think the Yankees makes the Yankees favorites in the World Series. But that's just my opinion. You let me know what your thoughts are. But these trades, or any one of them, are doable trades. If I had to choose between the trades, I would choose the one with the Cardinals, because I want Brendan Donovan and Ryan Helsley here. I like the Angels trade. I like the Brewers trade, but I like the Cardinals one the most. Give me your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking. Okay? And if there's any other trades that you'd be willing to make, put them in the comments. We'll talk about it. I'll be live a whole bunch more times, okay? And the Winter Minis are coming up, and if you haven't heard, I have somebody who's going to be filtering me. He's going to be live there at the Winter Minis. He's going to be reporting news to me so that I could report to you. Okay, breaking news, live time, and all that stuff. And I'm one of 2 people who's going to be getting the information to. Only 2. So that's why I say to keep your notifications on, because I will be filtering a lot of information out to you during the Winter Meetings and even before that. So I thank you so much. Okay, and by the way, let's preview really quickly Week 10 for the NFL. Okay, I didn't do it last week. Missed it. My apologies there. Right now the Giants are playing the Panthers. They're in Berlin, Germany. Okay, and they're losing 10-7. It was 10-0 at the half. They just came out and scored. So I'm actually going with the Giants here to win this game. So surprisingly enough, I think they have a shot at winning this game. I like what Brian Burns is doing there on the defense too. So next up, you have the New England Patriots going to be in Chicago to face the Bears. The over-under on this is 38 points, and the Bears are 6.5-point favorites. I'm going to go with the Bears to win this on the over. I have a feeling the Patriots might get the number 1 pick in the draft this year, the way that they're going. So I don't remember the last time that they've ever gotten a number 1 pick. So next up, the Buffalo Bills in Indianapolis to face the Colts. The Bills are 4.5-point favorites. On the over-under on this is 46.5 points. I'm actually going with the Colts on the under here. Next up, the Denver Broncos are in Kansas City to face the only undefeated team, Kansas City Chiefs. Okay. The Chiefs are 7.5-point favorites. The over-under on this is 42.5 points. They're in Kansas City too, so I'm going with the Chiefs to continue to be undefeated on the under. Okay, and then you have the Atlanta Falcons in New Orleans to face the Saints. The Atlanta Falcons are 3.5-point favorites, and the over-under on this is 46.5 points. I'm going with the Falcons, but on the under here. Then the San Francisco 49ers, looks like Christian McCaffrey's back and he's not limping. He's healthy. That makes a huge difference. They're in Tampa Bay to face the Buccaneers. The Niners are 6.5-point favorites, and the over-under on this is 49.5. I'm going with the Niners, and I'm going on the over. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Then you have the Pittsburgh Steelers in Washington to face the Commanders. The Commanders are 2.5-point favorites, surprisingly enough. And then remember, the Jets just traded Mike Williams, wide receiver, to the Steelers, so they added another weapon. The over-under on this is 45 points. I'm going with the Steelers here, but I'm going on the under. Then you have Tennessee Titans in LA to face the Chargers. The Chargers are 8-point favorites. The over-under on this is 39.5 points. I'm going with the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh is really doing some things with that team, and I'm going on the over. Okay, and next up, you have the Minnesota Vikings in Jacksonville to face the Jags. The Minnesota Vikings are 7-point favorites. The over-under on this is 43 points. I'm going with the Vikings, but I'm going on the over. Then you have the Philadelphia Eagles to face the Dallas Cowboys. NFC East collide. The Eagles are 7-point favorites. They are in Dallas to play this. And over-under on this is 44 points. I'm going with the Eagles, and I'm going on the over. I think the Cowboys are kind of falling apart there. So then we have my Jets in Arizona to face the Cardinals. The Jets are actually 1.5-point favorites. The over-under on this is 46 points. I'm actually going with the Jets, but I'm going on the under. I think it's going to be a close game. Then the Detroit Lions are in Houston to face the Texans. The Lions are 3.5-point favorites. The over-under on this is 50 points. Going with the Lions, but I'm going on the under. But I wouldn't be surprised if it went over 50 points. Then you got the Miami Dolphins tomorrow night. Okay, the last game here, Monday Night Football in LA to face the Rams. The Rams are 1.5-point favorites. The over-under on this is 49.5 points. I'm going with the Rams, and I'm going on the under. That's the previews right there. So let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what your thoughts are on the trades as well. Have a great Sunday, and I'll talk to you next time.